Being your own boss isn't easy. Building a brand is hard work.
Balancing all of that on top of a relationship is easier said than done.
The purpose of the show is to talk through tools and resources to navigating a hectic lifestyle.
Join us on our journey of figuring it all out, side by side, hand in hand.
Welcome to the David and Aneal show.
We are here every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, right?
Yes, that's decided.
The time we decided to do it.
We just need to get this out of the way. We just got a puppy. It's day 2 of a new puppy, and he's whining because he misses
New
his
addition
mother.
to the family here. So we're going to bring him onto the set because he's
crying.
2 days in the house and he's in the corner with our producers.
He's crying.
Over there. Here
Hi,
he
Maverick,
comes.
I'm so
This
sorry,
is Maverick.
baby.
Everyone meet Maverick.
I'm a working woman, Maverick.
He's
I'm
what,
so
2 months old? 2 months old.
2 months old.
So he's joining Gladiator, which is our Sphinx cat in the house. They're both male, so they're brothers.
Yes.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Sorry, I'm
He's
not
really
going to be
fine.
distracted. I'm going to be focused. I'm
Right.
aware and
All right.
present in the moment.
Good. We like that.
Yes.
All right, so let's talk about what the show is because this is the first one. This is the
Yes.
premiere episode of the David and Aneal show.
So basically, this is us navigating life, managing business, building brands, and then our relationship as well. How to balance all those things out. We're not here to kind of lecture you or tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing. We're here to actually talk through tangible advice that you can take into your everyday life.
Part of the journey. So it's our journey, your journey, learn from us. It's not tips and tricks. Well, a little bit of tips in there.
Yeah.
But it's not like your how-to type show.
Exactly. So to kick things off, we have our producer, Nina Pakula, who kind of has...
She's over there in the corner of the studio. And
Yeah.
She's got her laptop. Her laptop just died. But
Crashed.
it's come back to life apparently. Right, Nina?
It's fine now.
It's fine.
Yeah,
Nina
I feel good
Pakula
about
in
it.
the house producing the show every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern time right here on Facebook Live. Nina, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, what's our first pick?
Well, guys, we have some interesting topics. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm
We're
nervous.
ready. Well, we know the title of this show, so just so you know, every show is going to have a theme,
Yes.
right? So this is about personal branding.
Yeah, why it is important to
to
be
have-
building a personal brand
Right.
at all times.
And the work that I do, I work with talent to develop their brands, develop merchandise brands, all kinds of businesses. Aneal's a brand. We're all brands, really, when you think about it, both personally and in work. So it's so important in today's world of digital media to build your personal brand.
And that is a really good segue because one of the things that I wanted to talk about.
We need to get a
today-
camera on you, Nina.
No, you
We need to
don't,
put. Can we get a
trust me.
camera over here and just go on Nina real quick?
No,
Okay.
I don't want that.
Okay.
One of the things that I wanted to talk about today, one of the queen bee of personal branding, Kim Kardashian. So
Oh boy.
they are starting filming on their 16th season next week. So I wanted to hear from you guys, the branding experts. What do you think? How do you think they actually, Kim Kardashian specifically, what do you think she does so well? Because she understands her brand like no one else. What do you think she does so well that other people could actually use to amplify their personal brand?
Well, you're opening up with like a big loaded question, Nina.
You told me to come prepared, Beebe.
I know, right? Well, look, we all know how the Kardashians started, or at least how she started her career, right?
Yes.
Which, look, no judgment there. Everyone's got a different start in their career.
But she milked it and made it into
Well, of course,
something
and this is what it
amazing.
goes back to. In today's world, it's about getting attention, right?
Yeah.
And it's getting someone's attention because everyone's a content creator. Time is limited. We all have the same amount of time, and we pay attention to what we find valuable, right? And so she knows, set aside the branding purpose. That's somewhat more of her mom and the rest of the family. Yes, absolute brand there. She understands what gets people's attention.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with it or not, it gets your attention and you engage with the content and it creates a conversation. And that's what everyone should be doing. Now, not everyone, I don't think it's the right brand for everyone to doing exactly what she does. But, it actually reminds me, a good friend of mine, Jeetna, wrote a book called The Kim Kardashian Principle.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually out in the office out there. We'll put a link to it in the about. It's a really good book.
Yeah.
It's basically how do you promote yourself shamelessly, but in a way where it doesn't come across like that. It's a great read, but it's exactly that model. Digs in to their family. One thing I'll tell you that I'll not disagree on, but again, my little soapbox, is there was an article recently about one of the sisters that said how she built this $1 billion empire from scratch.
Kylie Jenner.
Kylie. And I'm all about, the female empowerment and building businesses and all of that.
Yes.
But the article position from scratch. Now, come on, let's be fair. She started in a family brand and empire that had a good base. Now, very talented and, of course, built a brand on her own.
But she could have done nothing.
Right. She could have done nothing. No, and that's why I say it's credited for that. But a lot of people are, when you look for role models, you're like, oh, someone that came from nothing and built something. And it positioned her in that way as if she, was born on the streets.
Full stop. She is a role model. She could have sat,
I didn't say she was not a role model.
Well, but she could have sat on her ass and done nothing. Look at Courtney. She does jack shit. But Kylie, the youngest, took all the best and worst practices of all her sisters and made an empire.
No, I'm not saying it was the way that she was positioned, and it discredits people who actually worked from the ground up to build a brand. That's all I'm saying.
She had to wake up. She had to respond to emails. She did that.
How's yours? Aneal's just started waking up on, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. now?
Oh, yeah. I did a 21-day challenge because that's how long it takes to form a habit. Because before, I was kind of like Courtney in the sense that I would sleep till 3 p.m., do jack shit with my life. I was pissing away my life. And then, I don't know what happened. I think I turned 27. Boom. A new spark was lit. So I did a 21-day challenge, woke up before 9 a.m. And now with the dog, we're waking up at 6 a.m.
Yeah, it's a family now. We got a dog. I told Aneal before we got our dog. What's his name again?
Maverick. Are you kidding me?
Maverick. Well, because we originally called him Magnum.
Because that was it's
But we didn't So then we changed it to Maverick, like Tom. I was like Tom Cruise, Top Gun, and Aneal's like, what's that?
I've never seen Top Gun, but me and Tom Cruise have the same birthday.
How have you not seen Top Gun? It's like one of the. Nina.
It's like Jet's
I'm
Army.
Speechless.
Nina,
we're gonna
get you a top 10 movies you must watch to talk to us.
I hope The Bling Ring is on it. That's all I know. The Bling Ring?
Okay.
You haven't seen The Bling Ring?
Is it on Pornhub?
The Bling Ring?
The Bling? No. What kind of? No.
Oh,
Nina.
Anyway, what is the next Pakula pick?
What are we going to do? So let's. Well, we're
actually, a really nice segue into because we're talking about the Kardashians.
By the way, we want to thank Starbucks for our classic or nice black mugs here.
Blacked out.
These things are great because they keep the drinks really cold.
Yeah, they're really great.
Oh, did you just sneeze?
I don't know what's happening.
Okay. Nina.
So segueing into again talking about Kylie, and I think that's a really nice segue. She recently went on to Twitter to promote her boyfriend and her baby daddy's tour, and her and the child will be going on tour with him.
Oh my God, so cute.
Nicki Minaj, because this is a huge thing now, his album was rated #1. Nicki Minaj took to Twitter to say your album is actually not #1, and the reason why it's getting such huge press is because these two ladies are coming on tour. So here's my question. Why should you or should you not take it to Twitter to publicly shame or talk about your problems if you have them?
Well, I think Twitter is great because it allows discourse. It allows both sides of the party to kind of say what they want to say. You kind of get in little Twitter fights with these business articles you read or you respond.
Yeah, it's a conversation, but what's happening now on Twitter, it's turning into this garbage. It's a dump, basically, of just people and bots, and that's the problem. If you look at politics, this is what's happening on there. Regardless of what side you're on, all these sides are throwing out content and a variety of news that isn't real. So it's hard. I use Twitter only for business, and that's where I'm sharing my branding articles, marketing, content marketing, brand storytelling stuff. I very rarely use it personal. It's just not I feel like you're talking to a hallway, when you tweet things. Whereas I engage things, and it's people, it's business, and that's the brand that I'm building there. I'm not necessarily sharing my personal life. If you want to share personal life, follow me on Instagram or Facebook.
Well, I mean, we run Twitter very differently. I'm notorious for some housewife gifts and stuff. But I think that we have to remember why Twitter was created is to, like I said, allow discourse. And if you have a public opinion, Twitter is the place to say it. And now that it's kind of consolidated, it's 240 characters. It's not like Facebook. Facebook where people write these essays.
That's a question. Does anyone use Facebook anymore?
Well,
it's like parents, grandparents.
You made me get back on it. I hadn't had
because
Facebook
we need it for this show.
Well, I mean, okay, fine, whatever. But it's just people get too long-winded on Facebook.
This is, by the way, the most spoilest dog in the world right now.
He's sleeping.
I gotta talk. People want to be entertained. Nina, can we move to some branding? Like, I feel like we're trying to do the, Neal hosts a podcast called Thirst.
I host 2 podcasts.
Thirst with a Pop.
Thirst with a pop culture one, and Thirst Reality TV, which is reality TV based.
So
we are currently on a hiatus, but we'll be back in 2 weeks every Monday.
So,
shameless plug. Sorry.
Shameless plug. So if you want to check that out, that's where you can actually go to get your pop culture. Now, pop culture and branding does go together here.
Yes.
But I'm hoping, so on our Facebook for the David and Aneal show, people submit questions around branding. So if you guys want to do that, pop in there. You can message a question, you can go in the chat, you can comment, and Nina's grabbing them live as they happen. And so, Nina, let's go to the personal branding, because we wanted to talk about that. That's what this episode's about.
Yeah, so we have a question from Emily.
Emily!
Emily, shout out.
That's like, one of my favorite movies is Devil Wears Prada. Emily!
I think she's talking to you.
Did she die or something?
Oh my god. Okay, what's Emily's
So
question?
Emily,
It's literally one of my favorite. I tell people that's my favorite movie, and they're like,
we'll make sure we let Emily
I'm
know.
like, Devil Wears Prada. I didn't like the second one as much.
There was not a second one.
There wasn't?
No.
Oh, I think it's
based
coming
off
out.
a book.
No, I thought there was a second one.
No, there is no second.
Maybe that
Devil
was
Wears Prada.
Mr. Gray will see you now.
No,
Mr.
anyway,
Gray.
what's Emily's question?
So Emily wants to know, how do you work your personal brand into the workplace?
Oh, that's a good question, Emily.
Okay.
Emily.
So this was, I don't think I've ever told you this, but when I was going through my master's program,
Secrets from Aneal.
I did an assistantship that was in the Office of Student Involvement. As we all know, I am one to thought and bop. I like to go out. I like to have a good time.
Thought and bop.
I
That's
like
like
to dance. And sometimes those...
Who thoughts and bops out there? What is thought? Let's just back that up. Thought and bop.
So do you know what thought means? Yeah.
Yeah.
That hoe over there. THOT. And then
the-
bop means like to bop around the clubs. Fat and bop. Anyway, long story short, sometimes what I do on social media is the missions of my place of employment. So I think that one thing you need to do is identify things in your real life and identify things in the workplace that kind of cross over. So that way you're also, showing your real best self, but also making sure your boss doesn't have to pull you into their office. It's kind of embarrassing to get pulled into an office. It's happened twice. And be told that your social media...
Because you were thought and bopping.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, you know what I mean? And I think I personally struggle with that a lot because I like to swear. Everybody knows that 420 is my favorite time of the day. It's just like sometimes those don't align with businesses or brand friendly. So I think it's just pulling elements that are business friendly from your personal life and putting that to the forefront.
Yeah, and so this is one sort of thing to think about in building your personal brand, especially as it applies to your job. If you work in a corporation, regardless of if it's conservative or more liberal and you can do what you want, is that everything that you post on social media people see. And I think people forget that. So you post something on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn even or Instagram, whatever you're using, people think, only people that saw it or if they liked it or commented or shared it or whatever. And that's not true. Thousands of people see it, right? But because they didn't interact with it, you don't realize they saw it. So every piece of content you're putting out, you're saying something about you. Even if your coworkers don't see it, your friends, and they're forming a judgment essentially. And it's not in a negative way forming a judgment, but they're saying, oh, that's what, let's take Nina for example, is doing right now. Or, and so if it's a lot of, you're out drinking and partying or whatever, which Nina's known to do now and then, people see that. And the other thing that people don't realize is that if you're applying for a job, come on, think about it, applying for a job, go and hide all your social. With the exception of LinkedIn, which people are going to work. But it's so easy. I get resumes for jobs and you look at them. You Google their name, you can see their Instagram, you can see everything, and they're completely different profiles. And I guarantee you, if I'm going through someone's Instagram and it's just them thoughtin' and bopping, as Aneal says, it's, again, have fun, but realize that is your public resume. It's always on what you put out. And I'd say the younger generation forgets about that they are broadcasting to the world. And, even if you have your account set on private or friends only, don't forget, a friend of a friend, like people can still access that stuff. Nothing is secretive anymore, and that's such a fascinating thing in this world is you got to think of everything you're doing, that there are cameras or audio recording you. Look at all the audio tapes right now. Let's go to the White House for a second with Donald Trump, with Omarosa, whatever. Look, she recorded all these tapes, these audio tapes, these videos. She's got everything now, and they're coming out. And so I kind of live by this rule of just assuming that, you know, you're being taped and that something could come out. Now look, we all do things we don't want taped. Nina was sleeping.
I'm going to delete all my tweets.
You're going to delete all your tweets?
Yeah, why would I not? Because you know what? In 2009, I was watching something stupid.
I'd be scared of,
I'm scared of like what I tweeted in 2009.
You know where I feel like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Is when Facebook gives you those reminders. Oh, and they're like 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And I was like, why would I post that?
Yeah. That's why I left Facebook.
And it, you know, at my age, as a refined gentleman, Uncle D, Uncle Daddy, Uncle David. Should be Uncle D.
No, Uncle Beebs.
Uncle Beebs. Is that like we had bad cell phones back then, so the pictures are all grainy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a picture of like a club.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dottin' and bopping.
Facebook makes me scared, but Twitter, I'm going to delete all my tweets. And Instagram, I've cleaned up.
You know, let's talk about personal brand and dating, because Nina, our producer, just started a new relationship.
I did. He's actually here.
He's actually here. He's over there in the corner, being quiet. Nina yelling at him, shut yourself on up. Okay. Sit down. Don't touch anything.
I have a question for you, actually, because people don't know this. We met at a 30th birthday in Mexico. And
not his mutual friend's birthday party.
Friend's 30th birthday. I didn't know who he was. But you had gone on my social and kind of like crept me a little bit, and you had formed an opinion of me before you had met me, right? Because we're basically saying that whatever you put out content-wise, someone's forming an opinion about you and that content. Right. So what was your opinion of me when you went through my social and you saw me and then I pulled up?
That's Gladiator.
The cat's meowing now.
Our other office.
Okay, stop avoiding the question. What did you think of me?
Oh my God. Well, so it's the 30th birthday party for a mutual friend in Mexico, Luis, our friend Luis. Aneal went to college with him in Miami, or not Miami, Florida.
Florida, yeah.
And I knew Luis when he was in LA, and so we had never met. And so he was having his birthday party. I was in charge of the rooming list, as I should be. And so I was going through there was like 10 of us, 12 of us going. We had like 2 big condos with a bunch of rooms. So like, who's gonna sleep in what room and share rooms? And so I said, I looked on social. I need to know, who am I letting in my life?
Okay, but you didn't answer my question. What was your opinion of me?
Oh, well, I thought so. Aneal is very artistic and creative. So if you go creep his Instagram, he's very, he does a lot of creative shots, and he's got that look for the camera. You know that one? That. I can't do it. Anyway, so check out his Instagram at Aneal Joshua. Follow along. Anyway, so very creative, and I like creative people because I'm creative, but also strategic. But so I wanted to, and so it worked out. And the rest is really, his little leg is stuck in his thing. The rest is history.
And now we're here doing the David and Aneal show.
We're here David and Aneal show 2 years later. We got like a farm. The studio is like filled with animals.
My brother said that this is the Toronto Safari.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have another Picula pick?
What's a Picula pick? So we want to talk about personal branding and just how important it is in personal branding. And someone asked me this question the other day, and I'm going to let Nina jump in. She's giving me the eye because she likes everything very planned, and she gets mad when it's not. Let me tell you a really quick story before I get into that. So I spoke last year. I do a lot of keynote speaking for brands and at events and festivals and conferences. And Nina also produces the executive producer of Buffer Festival here in Toronto, which is actually at the end of September, 27th, 28th, 29th, something like that. One of the talent producers and creators that we actually manage is screening her short film there called Bad Word. Steph Sanyati, check her out on Instagram. As part of the LGBTQ section, and she's probably going to win because it's an amazing film. I was there, and Aneal actually produced it as well. But last year I did the keynote at Buffer Festival. I've done, I don't know, hundreds of keynotes around the world. The first one where they have a buzzer that buzzes you off stage when your time's up. Because if you go and do a speech, you do a rehearsal and you get like they have a clock. So you've got screens where you can see the audience and you see yourself and the slides you're presenting, and then there's a clock in the middle. And it's 45 minutes or 30 minutes and there's a countdown. And so some people are really bad at it. I'm really good at the time because I respect, look, it's an event, there's other speakers, there's other people, things need to get going, moving along. I'm not the only one. So I may go over a minute or two over, but always wrap it up quick. So it keeps you on task and on schedule. But anyway, Nina decides she's going to have a buzzer that buzzes speakers off stage if they go 1 second over. The only conference I've ever been to that had a buzzer. But is the buzzer here this year? Is it coming back?
No, I don't think it will be. But
yeah, it was not
really
popular.
Effective. I will say
it was effective in keeping the conference on schedule.
Exactly, which is very important to me.
So I intentionally went over like a minute just so I could get buzzed.
Yeah, that was your goal.
It was a good experience.
It was a good experience. Oh, Maverick. Maverick needs a show.
Guys, I don't have another Nina's picks, but I do have another question.
Yes.
Who's this one from?
So this guy his name is Jackson. I love that name.
By the way, we are going to be adding in a dial-in, so people can dial in live to the show, and Nina and the rest of the team are going to screen the calls. We might get some crazies. That is going to be in the next couple of weeks. We're just waiting for all the wiring and tools to come into the studio. But anyway.
So David, you're dating a millennial.
Millennial.
You're actually engaged to a millennial.
I'm engaged to a millennial.
So a lot of people say, this is a question from Jackson. A lot of people say millennials are lazy or have a bad rep in the workforce. What do you guys think?
Well, I'll answer that, and I'll let the millennial answer. I think that, look, in marketing, so I work with a lot of brands talking about marketing and building strategy and how do you communicate with that next generation audience, right? So it's, everyone wants to connect with a millennial or whatever audience is next. I don't believe in like marketing like that into an age group of 18 or what, because it's a behavior set. There's 18-year-olds that act like 40-year-olds and vice versa. So it's like it's more like what do they like, what are their preferences, and that's what's key is a behavior set. Understanding what their personal interests are. You just can't bunch everyone into one category and say one thing about them, that everyone there is like that. So I don't think that you can fairly say all millennials are lazy. Go back historically. I mean, I remember when my parents would say things like, when I went to school, I had to walk uphill both ways in the snow and take the school bus, and it was cold. Every generation is complaining about the next generation or whatever. So I don't think you can fairly say that everyone acts like that. Now, is there more of an expectation of getting things faster without working them? Somewhat, but not everyone. There's plenty of hardworking people out there. So there's no way you can categorize and say millennials are that.
Okay, this is a very passionate subject for me. Because one, I think that yes, there are millennials that will be lazy, and I was actually sitting with Adele, who she's basically an Olivia Pope for media brands, and
Adele Sears, based a little shout out promo. Adele Sears, based in DC, runs a PR firm and works on really real time marketing and stuff. So we'll add a link to Adele in the about.
Yeah, she was great. So I did copy with her, and she was saying in the workplace there's this concept of millennial roulette. Like you don't know if you're going to get a good millennial or not. So what I have to say about that is millennials, we want our instant gratification. I get it. I'm the same way. But the world is ours. You guys have passed the torch to the millennials. So now we have to be better and like wake the fuck up. Because if we don't get our shit together, look at what the previous generation did to our world. Look at the state of our world. It's a zoo out there. So millennials, we have to wake up every day and work that much harder because one, we're repairing this disaster.
Oh, now see, this is where you're blaming our generation.
I am.
We delivered this beautiful world to you, and you guys were lazy and sat around and didn't do anything about it.
No. I mean, maybe if we were just busy with the internet. The internet raised us. So we like things quick and fast. But what I will say is, regardless, lazy or not, millennials, let's wake the fuck up. Let's work twice as hard every day, and let's fix this fucking planet.
As you carry around your toy teacup.
He might fucking help save the planet too. Anyway, sorry, I get so mad because also when
he
Survivor
wants to be Lisa Vanderpump over here with his little teacup.
No. Lisa Vanderpump should be fired. 1 point.
What? Why should she be fired? I thought you liked Lisa Vanderpump.
Old, washed up.
Done. Are you what? Why?
Just like the old. Yeah, but okay, come on. Like, side note, I'm so excited that we're talking about the Housewives right now. Actually,
all the Housewives.
I watch every English speaking.
I thought you were a
Housewives.
fan.
No, because this is my thing. Lisa Vanderpump is so successful and she's so established in her career that she's She won't break a wine glass. She won't throw a drink in somebody's face. She won't talk negatively about someone.
Well, she's like the mother hen.
Yeah, bitch, I don't want to watch TV to see a mother hen. This isn't like Duck Duck Goose, a fucking nursery rhyme.
Did you ever play that game, Duck Duck Goose?
Yeah, I did. Anyway, so one thing...
Breaking news, everyone. I thought you were a fan. Who is your favorite housewife?
I don't like when you put me on the spot with such tough,
okay,
daunting
what
questions.
is your favorite? What is your favorite show? Like your favorite city, then?
Again, with the tough, daunting questions. Like, I need like at least emotionally prepped. Like, this is like asking somebody to move in with them. Oh, who's your favorite housewife? Enough.
Dallas. I think you like Dallas.
Oh yeah, currently right now, Real Houses of Dallas is my favorite one.
So is it the Dallas one? What's the chick that has the dog food company?
Dallas.
The peak one. So what's her name?
Cameron Westcott. Cameron Westcott is a Dallas socialite, and she just created her. Do you think Maverick will like Sparkle dog food? Get on Amazon right now and order Sparkle dog food.
Oh my god. So she goes in to pitch her husband. It's clearly staged and set up, scripted, we know. She walks into his office. She's like, I have a pitch for you. You know, everything's out. And she wants to create this, what is it, pink dog food?
Yeah, which is a great branding. And let's think about this. This is actually a great example of why personal branding is so important.
No, I get it. But okay, so she creates a pink dog food.
Because her brand is pink.
She wants $100,000, and he's like, take a zero off that.
10 grand.
So she gets 10 grand to go launch this company. I think she launched it. Is it successful?
Yeah, it's on Amazon,
it's on
and
Amazon.
it's in select boutiques. And if she doesn't get a distributor, he's gonna pull the plug on the company. We find out next episode. It's kind of stressful. Wow. But
tune in next week to the David and Aneal show to find out what happens to Sparkle dog food.
No, I'm gonna wheel us back into why personal branding is so important in tangible ways that you can be doing this. So we're gonna go more in depth next week about how to fuse your relationship, your business into your personal brand.
Next week's topic
we're talking about next week.
is
it's branding in the workplace.
how to brand yourself in the workplace.
How to brand yourself in the workplace and taking it deep diving down. And also how not only branding yourself, but how do you get ahead in the role? So if you've been in a job that you've done for a year or two, how do you get promoted? How do you represent yourself at different levels in the company to people you report to? Also, how do you build your brand not only in that group you're in, but across the company in different ways, which is something I think a lot of people miss out on. They're so focused on like their immediate teams. When I've spent most of my career working in large corporations, you always want to spend time. Just go grab coffee with someone in a different group, and learn about what they do. And those things now really can help you out and build your brand across the company versus just in your area.
Yeah, and I also think just another personal branding tip that I learned kind of through you is to provide.
It's like a doll. It looks like look.
He's so cute.
He's
like
anyway,
sleeping.
Go ahead.
Is that you have to provide context with the content that you're posting to create a personal brand. If you don't provide context into what you're doing, where you're doing, why you're doing it, people just think it's you looking cute on the gram. And I think I learned this the hard way because remember, I would just post like a selfie and then Drake lyrics. And you'd be like,
yeah, there's no context.
What is that? Like,
because
you know what I mean?
The Drake audience may get that, but you're leaving maybe half or more out, so they're not going to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now, you can be yourself and build the audience. We talked about this the other day, actually, on Instagram. Aneal was saying he needs more followers, so please go at Aneal Josh on Instagram and follow him.
Okay, well,
I don't have to listen to it. But
let's hear the backstory because now it makes it seem like I'm like a thirsty little thought.
No, not thirsty thought. No, what I was telling him is that. It's like, should I, and everyone says this, should I post more of this or more of that? And I said, post what you want.
Yeah.
Right? Like, add context, but post what you want. Build the audience you want. Don't try to create content for an audience that you're trying to have a relationship with. People are going to like your content, they're going to follow it. People are going to hate you. So this is one reality of millennials or whatever. Everyone wants to please everybody, or everyone wants to be, oh, someone didn't like my photo, or someone said something. Move on.
I'm not
Move on. When you're lying on your deathbed, you're not going to remember that 30 years. Instagram's not going to be around then.
I might remember some people that didn't like her.
I'm going to be in Palm Springs, 85 years old, in the pool, floating around with my oxygen tank, going to the gay bar there and dancing.
But I think that for some people that are struggling with it, because I am not at that move on phase where I still do kind of care what people post.
Of course you care, but don't let it affect Don't get caught. Everyone cares who's like what they're saying, but don't let it like affect you in that way where it just like
don't affect your mental state.
Exactly.
And a good
mental
way,
health's a really big thing now.
Yeah, and a good way to flip it is making sure that the content you put out is self-promoting yourself in a positive way while building your brand.
You gotta have a good content mix, right?
Yeah.
So if everything's about you, it gets so old.
Yeah, I want to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and also be authentic as fuck. If you're not authentic, it reads so the whole like, hey guys, it's a beautiful Monday morning and I just woke up and had my flat yummy tea and I just love it so much. Take 2 friends that love flat yummy tea.
Whatever.
Like shut the fuck up.
This whole thing of authentic like branding and don't even get influencer. Can we make influencer marketing a topic? Let's make that a show in a couple of weeks.
That's a good
influencer
one.
marketing, because I'll just go on a rant about that. Now look, this influencers work and creators work, but this whole thing of like where everything's posed and it's all perfect, that is not authentic, and people are seeing right through that.
Yeah.
And yes, someone who's built a massive audience can move product. Absolutely, I've seen it. I've done deals with them all the time. It works. But it's just a sea of sameness now in these Instagram influencers. Okay. Here's the thing. People who put themselves as public figures on Instagram.
Oh God, don't get him started on this rant.
No. No, you're not. No, you're not. Just because you have some followers and you did some branded content and someone sent you a freaking package to unbox and you unbox the latest whatever, that doesn't make you a public figure. You have another job that you don't even post about, and then you live this fake life. No, you're not a public figure.
Oh, see, I hate that. I hate influencers.
You're not, Nina.
I completely agree.
Let me tell you a public figure. Donald Trump. Somebody like names. Madonna, public figure.
Yeah, true. Cameron Westcott, Real Housewives of Dallas.
Who's that?
Public figure. The pink dog food, we just talked about
She's
it.
a public figure.
She's a public, like, if you have a TV show and you're out and you have fans that show up and, okay, you're a public figure, but no.
Yeah.
Put what you do. Like, I'm not a public, I'm entrepreneur. That's what I do.
Yeah. I think that if you're an influencer and you have a job that you're not posting about and only posting your little flat yummy tea shit, it's not authentic.
Your protein powders. Be authentic online. People need to see that. Mental health's a really good thing. Actually, one of to promote a couple of clients is Steph Sanyati, but also Mina. It's great.
Yeah.
George's is great. Check him out as well. Just go to my Instagram. You'll see him posted there at David Beebe, and he's doing a lot of great content.
Body positivity.
In body positivity, in mental health, and look, post great. Make yourself. Everyone wants to see you look fabulous. You should be celebrating your friends that are looking good and doing great things in life and working hard and having success. You should celebrate that.
Yeah.
You don't need to post every mental breakdown, because then it's like, oh, Jesus, now this is not your therapy blog. Right? But, like, just be you. And look, if you was being fake and having everything standing in a corner and being like, look at me, it's my tea, then fine. That's you. Do you. That's what I say.
Yeah.
But you're not a public figure.
I think that what I said is that Instagram is like The Sims.
Everyone's a public figure then. We're all public. Let's just all be public figures.
I told you not to get him started on the public figure rant.
I
Now I
didn't.
can't do anything.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that Instagram is basically like playing The Sims. You're creating this character and the best version of yourself, and you're putting it out there. But you have to pull from the realities of your world. If I'm playing The Sims, I'm not gonna make a pretty blonde girl that's a complete opposite of me. I might though.
But it is a brand. Well, that one time you did do a makeup, drag thing with Mina.
Yeah.
They spent like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Did we release that footage? We need to release that
No,
footage.
I haven't even gone through it. But I think that I thought that there was an inner woman in me, and then she came out, and I realized that maybe no.
So what? So we're almost out of time because we gotta
Stop
get back to work. We got meetings, we got calls, we got business to do. What's going on? We're gonna do next week, Monday at 3 p.m.
It's branding in the workplace, some tangible tips that you can implement on your social for content.
We got some exciting events coming up this week, and it's ConX, the conference. So we're hosting a brand dinner tomorrow night, which I know you don't care about because you're not.
Oh my God, me
Aneal is producing an event called Out on Bay Street, right? Or what's it?
No, it's essentially the Out on Bay Street Conference, sponsored by Start Proud.
Start Proud, which is about starting your career at LGBT, being who you are, building a brand. So there's some exciting announcements around that we're going to announce in the next couple of weeks.
Super excited about that. And if you haven't done so already, you can go to YouTube and iTunes, and you can please subscribe, like, write a review. Basically,
this is also a podcast, so it'll be available on iTunes after we get it uploaded.
And I'll tell you this, friends. If you're not commenting or liking this content on Facebook, YouTube, or iTunes, you're not getting a wedding invitation.
You're not getting
simple.
a wedding invitation.
Point blank, period.
Wedding is going to be next year, June, July, August. I don't know. We're going to pick a date.
Well, that venue needs to get back to us. Anyway, maybe we'll talk about wedding planning on here too. That'll be fun.
Let's hope that we do not get another dog. Nina's showing me a note over there. What's it say, Nina?
I put in wedding planning as one of the topics.
Okay, cool. Let's do how to plan a wedding that is over $500,000. I don't want to do it. That's insane to me.
I know.
Actually insane.
It actually is insane. How much
weddings are
cost.
Stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah, let's talk about money. So if you're getting married, like, take your money and sack it away and invest it. Mm-hmm. Do a little wedding, or do a party or whatever. Weddings aren't stupid. Do a wedding if you want to do a wedding. Stupid. But if you're in a situation where you do the wedding you want to do,
yes,
but don't spend money just because you feel you have to spend money if you're going to get married. Like, throw your wedding your style, but do it in a way that's budget conscious. It's a very important date. And memory that'll last forever, but obviously so many people spend so much money on a wedding, and look, I get it, but like, think of that, could buy a really nice house, could get you a nice car.
Yeah, I mean,
pay for puppy care, expensive.
I don't
puppy
want to
care
talk about the wedding, it gives me anxiety.
All right, so every Monday, hope you enjoy the show. Of course, you can watch it on demand on YouTube and Facebook, and we'll syndicate it across social. Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Facebook Live.
And please send us your questions about branding yourself in the workplace.
Leave comments, tweet me at David Beebe.
Thank you for joining us.
All right, see you guys. Say bye, Maverick.
Okay, that's a wrap.